Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, the things are getting better for Nigeria. For Nigeria is on the way. Progressive government, things are getting better.
Can you imagine? Is it that things are actually getting better in the country, according to Mr. Senate President, with the situation of things presently, and we don't know? Or is it that he's trying to practice his singing ability to compete with the likes of Shatawari, Zazu, and other small musicians? Or is there something we are not aware of? In fact, check this out.
Do you know how impossible it has become to talk about the problems of Nigeria without mentioning Godswill Akpabio? I mean the Senate President. Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you cannot be talking about how bad Nigeria is without bringing Akpabio into the picture.
I have no doubt that very soon I'll drive through Akpabio down to Lagos to, singing song and saying things are getting better for Nigeria. Things are getting better. For Asiwaju is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Mr. President, things are getting better. Hey, the things are getting better for Nigeria. For Nigeria is on the way. Progressive government, things are getting better.
Now, that's your president. That's supposed to be the Senate president. That's supposed to be the Senate president. Now, when we were young in secondary school, we were taught government. And one of the things we were taught in government was checks and balances. That's where the judiciary and the legislature and the executive, they check themselves by operating independently and preserving their powers. Now, when you have a situation where the Senate president is singing praises to the executive, my brother, the country is gone. And now, some of you think you know how bad the country has gone, but in truth, you don't. You really don't. You really imagine your Senate president singing, "Things are getting better." One aboki there they suffer. Things are getting better. Mama, if they hustle, they try find money for children. Things are getting better. One Yoruba, Iya Basira, they try find. Is it that these people are living in a different planet while we, the masses, are living in another planet or what? We things are getting better. No try sicko, because if you go hospital, if they tell you, oh, I go hospital and say only card, just to buy card, 4,500 naira. To see doctor, almost 30,000. No sickness they cheap for hospital. Imagine a government that is commissioning 30 kilometers of road when we never show reach 30 kilometers. So out of 700 kilometers, they carry camera, the video. You see, we are in a deep shit. Now, when I caption this video that the Senate president is a clown, I know say DSS feel they look for me. This video will become problem for me. I don't know. But you see, person had already die. No need to fear death. Because if you put me for prison, at least I did. If you carry me, if you lock me, go Kuje prison for Abuja, at least I did sure say food go there. This one I did for house now, I says I get food. I know they sure say food day. So if you carry me now, they sure say they will give me food. The food feel no sweet, but at least now food. They will give me food in the morning, give me food in the afternoon, give me food in the evening. Here now, I have to. This country is so bad. It's so bad, and yet one fool they think things are getting better. Where? Which things they get better? Well, how can you be insulting because you they drive jeep, you they drive convoy? Things are better. War. Come see. The insult where these people they insult us every day. At their house now, 3 weeks now, I no get light. I don't know what thing they call light for here now. 3 weeks, I don't know what thing they call light. Things are getting better. Things are getting better where? School fees, house rent, food, nothing is every day bank they steal money from my account. Every day bank they steal money. We are just being robbed, and then you tell me things are getting better. Look, Akpabio, you know say this same Akpabio na person I know well. Na president, na be patron of our Scrabble club. I not believe say somebody of that intellectual height go they so rubbish because with this money, according to Abel Damina, I say filthy lucre, abi filthy lucre. Now make turn this place, they sing praise. Somebody as a Senate president, suppose they talk to that Tinubu as they tell us, say, look, we will hold you accountable. You should have to, so that the president would fear, say, if you fuck up, the legislature is there to check him. The judiciary suppose they talk, say, oh no, this country is messed up. After watching this video, if you still don't believe that the country is messed up, then now they messed up.
You cannot be talking about how bad Nigeria is without bringing Akpabio into the picture. It's unescapable. You cannot escape it. See, in our days in college, in secondary school, when we were taught under government what checks and balances in government is, I understand that these bodies checkmate each other, especially the Senate. If you know the power of the Senate in a democratic system, although I know Nigeria is not having a democratic system, this is a Tinubu monocratic government, obviously. But they claim it is democracy. And the power of the Senate is even higher to that of the executive. Because when the Senate do not approve, only little can the executive veto. But in the case of Nigeria, instead of Akpabio living up to expectation, he has become a jester of Tinubu.
I thank you.
So that was your Senate president who have now turned an Afro hip-hop star. He's trying to compete with Davido and Wizkid on who is better on the stage when it comes to music. That is the Senate president you have. Isn't that a shame? Isn't it unfortunate? Senator Godswill Akpabio, Nigeria is getting better for you in your pocket and your cronies. Of course, we know Bola Ahmed Tinubu government is better for you. At least we just saw the 2025 budget. We saw how everything is going well inside the budget. One street light, 260 million. It cannot be better than that. But you should have cleaned your mouth the moment you said things are getting better for Nigerians. Clean your mouth, Oga. Spit that rubbish away. Things are better for Akpabio and co. It's that simple. Make it clear. We know Nigerians we won't even do anything. Say for Nigeria, this same Nigeria that we live, Akpabio, make so many good things till they happen in your name. Make it still they happen. They didn't swear for this country that it is people who have nothing to offer that will always be in charge. We'll be having a very weak Senate president. I never could have believed that Akpabio would be one of them. And you turn out to be the worst. This 10th National Assembly is arguably the worst thing that have ever happened to Nigeria. Because they are beyond rubber stamp. Rubber stamp is even something that you can attach value to. This one, hallelujah boys, Senate, the National Assembly, the body that's shadowed with making laws, has become a jester to the executive. Senator Godswill Akpabio, if only Nigerians can think, if only Nigerians know how bad you guys are dealing with them. Nigerians are weeping. We are crying every day. Those that used to drive now trek. Those that used to eat 3 times now eat once. And it's getting worse. Akpabio said it's getting better. Senator Godswill Akpabio, if I'm to speak to you the way it is in my mind, you see those your DSS boys that doesn't know where bandits are, they will locate me in the next 1 hour. So let me just control my voice. But we will definitely get there. We'll get to that point where we'll talk freely. We will get there. The Nigeria DSS, una cup go soon full. We'll go get to that time one day. Then, my fellow Nigerians, I'm sure you saw your Senate president. In case you have a show, you need a he's just proved to be better than Davido and Olamide, even Burna Boy put together. A Senate president becoming a jester.
Confirm now, is it that things are actually getting better and people are complaining of serious issues ranging from insecurity, high cost of living? In fact, not just complaining. If you check the news, you will see the high level of insecurity, people being pied in different parts of this country, high cost of living and other serious issues that was not supposed to be happening in a place where things are getting better, happening right here. Now, considering the kind of democracy we practice in this country, where the 3 arms of the government was supposed to be checkmating each other, ranging from the executive, legislature, and the judiciary, where it's supposed to be that the executive was supposed to be checkmating the actions and inactions of the judiciary and the legislature doing the same thing to the other two, the judiciary doing the same thing to the other two, to make sure that the works of checks and balance are being conducted appropriately. But in a situation where the legislature began to sing the praises of the executive or judiciary sing the praises of the legislature, do you think that the works of checks and balance in the country is still going to be successful? In fact, share your thought with me on the comment section as I allow you to listen to other issues that is going on. But as you are listening to it, make sure you are clicking on that share button and also subscribe in case if you have never done so for more update. And after that, I'll be back. Let's go there.
But as far as the Tinubu administration is concerned, and especially when you look at the appointments, there is nothing like federal character. Who even talks about the Federal Character Commission? What you see is appointments that favor the region that the president comes from. And so you find all kinds of anger now. In the moment somebody is removed, you can almost swear that the next person that will be appointed to replace that person will be a Yoruba person. Then when you see Yoruba, so that people will not talk too much, then they will bring in somebody from one region. And then you see Yoruba, and then you see one person from a different region just to close the mouths of some people who are agitating too much of Yorubanization and so on and so forth. This is what you see. But Abdullah, I can tell you that you were talking about Ali Ndume. My problem is, where was Ali Ndume when Buhari was doing the same thing? Ali Ndume is a northerner. I am a northerner, that I'm speaking. If it is not sheer hypocrisy, when Buhari was doing the same thing that Tinubu is doing today, where was Ali Ndume? All these quotations of constitution and federal character, this and that, where was Ali Ndume? So when Buhari is doing his own, it is okay because it is favoring him. Now that Tinubu is doing it and is not favoring it, not, you are all over the place making all sorts of noise. So there is no sincerity, there is no honesty. The whole thing is not from the heart. And that is one of the things that bothers me about all of this. Ordinarily, you will say kudos to him for raising these issues, but it is smeared with hypocrisy, and that is what worries me.
And what do you think is the impact of this ethnic tension? Because beyond just people in power speaking, Nigerians are also making observations about some of these appointments where we jettison the idea of merit. People are not having a conversation around whether this person is qualified to do the job. They focus on his tribal affiliations or orientation. What is the cost on governors if we have to stick to this primordial sentiment? I understand that federal character is supposed to address equity, is supposed to address representation and all that, but are we sacrificing something bigger just to, appear to be an egalitarian society?
What is happening is very bad. What is happening is very sad. What is happening is very unfortunate. It's a shame what is going on. That after all these years, we're still talking about primordial sentiments of ethnicity, of religion. It is saddening, Abdullahi, and it is costing us a lot. The truth of the matter is that in every tribe there are competent people. In every religion there are competent people. So it is an insult when, to justify the Muslim ticket, for example, you give the impression that there is no Christian in northern Nigeria who is qualified to occupy the position of vice president. And patented hypocrites like El Rufai will come out and justify it and say all kinds of things just to justify the kind of primordial sentiments they want to promote. So the moment we elevate ethnicity and religion and focus on these things, the only thing that makes sense is the usual game plan of politicians. The moment it is politics, throw the ethnicity card, throw the religious card, and it is the opium of the masses. So the moment you throw ethnicity, if the ethnicity card is favoring us, those of us that are favored by the ethnicity card, like the Yorubas now are being favored by the ethnicity card, and they are all keeping quiet because it is favoring them. Just like it favored the Northerners when Buhari was doing it, and they are keeping quiet. At the end of the day, how does it help us? When Buhari did it, the Northerners kept quiet. They were enjoying it. Hypocrites like Ali Ndume kept quiet. They didn't speak against it because it is their brother who is doing it, and it is favoring the North. And now that it has shifted to the South, the Yorubas are enjoying it, so they are not talking. People like Wole Soyinka have become so pitiful. They no longer have a voice. All the big Yoruba people that came out and said all kinds of things and demonstrated against Jonathan, demonstrated against all of them, now no longer have a voice to speak because they are observing good table manners. It doesn't help the country. So by the time now tomorrow another northerner comes up and becomes president, then he reverses whatever Tinubu has done. We now go back to northern, maybe northern Muslim. How do we make progress as a people with this kind of thing? How do we make progress as a nation with this tribalism card everywhere and religious card everywhere? It is costing the nation progress. It is costing the nation development. We are sacrificing merit. If I have a problem with rats in my house, rats have infested my house. But for God's sake, if I have a cat who can solve the problem of all the rats and the mice in my house, does it matter whether it is a male cat or a female cat or a Yoruba cat or a Hausa cat? All I want is a cat that will handle the problem of mice in my house. So it's one of the bane, maybe perhaps, Abdullah, perhaps next to corruption, this matter that we're discussing is the second bane of Nigeria's development. Corruption remains the number one factor, followed by these primordial sentiments of ethnicity and religious sentiments that have affected every sphere of our development life.